Hi, my name is Debra Disman, and I was honored to teach a workshop called Bookmaking with Compassion. And I'm also creating an artist book related to this called Unfolding Possibilities as a support to allow the community to express what they went through the pandemic and perhaps what they would teach others from what they learned through the experience. We put out a call for words, just single words, generated by the community, and the people who took the workshop and the community at large submitted words, and I'm actually stitching these words right into the book. I work in the form of the book and in forms evoked by the book, as well as mixed media and sculptural media that I create myself by putting together different materials. Most of the work is created with fabric, thread and cord, book board, and different kinds of papers. So when I was determining what I would like to teach for a workshop, a book form or a book structure was a natural. It's also an amazing vehicle for people to be able to express themselves. You can make a book out of almost nothing or almost everything. And I taught a book during the workshop called the flower fold structure. We use 6x6 pieces of origami paper that are folded in a certain way so that the resulting square is about 1/4 of the size of the original sheet. And there are folds contained within that so that when you open it up, it unfolds like a flower. We had the theme of bookmaking with self-compassion. This is the idea that through the making process and this particular process of creating the flower fold structure, something that has the feeling of a flower and opens up yet is also very private, people could care for themselves by expressing themselves and having a place to put their emotions and their experiences. And then when I created the installation and began work on the artist book on Unfolding Possibilities, I expanded upon that by taking the same form that I had taught in the workshop, the flower fold form, and created a series of these folded forms and attached them together in a certain way. The book then can either be hung or stretched out, and then it all folds back into a square. It was interesting to see the common threads of what people were feeling and experiencing in terms of the pandemic. I really wanted to stitch the words right into the book. I wanted the words to be integral with the book itself so that it really became a collaboration with the community. And I'm using most of those words, just about all of them, because it's a very interesting range of words. When I started to put all these words together, I decided on a kind of petal formation within the book. So I would have 2 lines of words coming out radially within each section. And I took care to put together words that either were in opposition or words that really interrelated. Some of the words were verbs, and some of them were adjectives, and some of them were nouns. I do a lot of that in my work and in my titles. I play a lot with text and wordsmithing. The process to create the workshop and the artist book were very integrated and really part of the same concept. I knew I was going to stitch the words in color, but I wanted the background to be white, a neutral white, and I chose a beautiful thick mulberry paper in kind of a neutral ivory, and then really decided that I was going to stay with that neutral background and have these stitched words be both the embellishment and the content of the book. As I'm stitching the words, with each word I'm also working with color. I'm using color associations and applying this to have a deeper level of meaning with these words. And I think it really expresses growth and represents what people were going through in their pandemic experience, that perhaps they started in one place and ended up in another place. It really shows this experience reaching the whole range of human emotions. And it's really because of 18th Street's partnership with the We Rise initiative that allowed me to come in and do both the workshop and the artist book. I think when you just start with a germ of an idea and you're given agency and license to just keep going, things just grow and expand beyond what you ever would have thought, and maybe even beyond your dreams. You're given a wide berth for your creativity with total support, and it's really, really amazing.